Welcome back to the Crochet Karate. So as my friends at yarnspirations.com, what started this whole journey of 2024 was this particular blanket, and I'm obsessed with color changing because it keeps me mentally interested, and I use Karen Colorama Halo. And if you notice at the beginning of the ball is different color and it phases ever so smoothly on its own. And so I looked at 3 balls. This blanket is only 3 balls. And so even though the one color starts off like this blue, as it starts transitioning and getting further out, you'll notice that the colors get weaker and weaker. And then in some cases, it completely then phases to a completely new color by the time it gets there. And so each one of these balls are phasing out. So the white here, it phases and goes into a gray by the end. Right here. So you only need 3 balls complete, and as you're working through this, you're going to see this phase, and it's just really quite fantastic. I used 3 balls only, as I mentioned, with a 5mm size H crochet hook. If you want information about the yarn and the colors, please see the video description link for that information. And I'm just going to use regular colored yarn to show you how to do this rectangular spiral afghan. Let's begin. Let's start off with whatever color you decided is your first color to begin. This is a granny square concept, but in a spiral. And once it's on your hook and ready to go, and you got the yarn of choice and etc., you're good to go. So from the Karen Colorama Halo, you can go from the inside of the ball out or outside in. It's your call. Chain 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Let's begin our first round with this color. Go 4th chain from the hook, count it back, so 1, 2, 3, and go to 4th. I always get the back hump of the chain. I think it looks nicer, but if you don't want to, then don't. So then you're going to put in 2 more double crochets into that spot. So this is the equivalent of 3 double crochets into the same stitch. Chain 1 and skip the next 4 chains. You see the 4 there, or skip the next 3 chains and go to the 4th right where my thumb is. And you're going to put in 3 double crochets there. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Then chain 1, skip the next 3. So 1, 2, 3, and go to the 4th. And put another 3 double crochets there. So 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, and you're going to skip the next 3, and you'll end up on the last one. And on the last one right here, you were going to do the following. You were going to apply 3 double crochets in there first. So 1, 2, and 3, followed by a chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and in the same one where this is, put in another 3 double crochet in there. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then chain 3, again, that turns a corner every time on this particular example, and put 3 more double crochets into that last one. So that last chain has a lot of stuff going on it. You were then going to chain 1, and it's really easy to see where the stitches are. Do you see where this is coming out of? That's your first one right there. And just lay your straggler down on top of that line and put in 3 double crochet into there. I wouldn't necessarily leave the knot in the ball like you see, but this is just an example today. I just got spare yarn. So chain 1, and you go to the next one right here and put 3 more double crochet. And then chain 1, and in the same one of this right here, you were going to apply 3 double crochet to start. Chain 3 to turn a corner. And in the same one again, 3 double crochet. And you have to hold now because you've got to add more yarn now before you can get that to go around. So at the end of that, pull up a large loop, grab a new color, and just leave it. If you went over top of the straggler like I did, you can just safely cut that out and be done with it. Let's move on, and you're always working on the right side of it, the front side or the right side or the upside. And we're gonna start with our next color next. Let's begin our next color with whatever color you decided to use. And I need you to stay in the top of this chain work right here. So see the two there? Just go right into the top of this one. And attach. Chain 2, that equals a double crochet here, and double crochet again into that same one that you did the attaching with. And leave that straggler to the back. Chain 1 now, and you skip to the next space and put in 3 double crochet. And that's all you're gonna do until you get to a corner. So chain 1, skip to the next space, 3 double crochet. So in this particular example, there's no weird stitch work. And then chain 1 after it and go into the next one. And then what are your corners going to be? Do you remember? Your corners are always going to be 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. So the short side, it doesn't have a lot in the very beginning of this, but you'll notice that every time you go around with a new color, your blanket will get bigger and the number of spaces will change. So after you've chained 1 here, you're just gonna jump immediately into your next corner. Okay, chain 1. And so what I want you to do is just go all the way to the final corner right here and hold for me, and I'll be right back. I'm in the final corner, just doing my 3, 3, and 3. And I have to pull up a loop because I cannot go any further with this color because the round below it is not ready for me to do that. So I want to grab my third and final color. Make sure your balls are not twisted to the yarn, and we're going to begin our final color starting right here. Whatever color is your final third color, you want to attach it to the top of the first chain 2 that you started with on the last round. Chain 2 counts as a double crochet, and then what you're going to do is come right to your first space right here, let the straggler go out, and just start again with 3 double crochet, and then you chain 1 after, and then jump to your next space. And when you get to the corners, it's the same with what you already know. So I want you to just go around and just stop at the final corner right here, and we'll do our first revolution officially with this first color, and I'll show you how to space that out to get that done properly for you. On the final corner here, and you can't go anymore because the round below is not done. So we're going to go back to our very first color right here. We're going to put it onto the hook. Make sure that the yarn is not twisting in any of the balls, and we're going to begin officially our first revolution, which will then provide the space equally throughout this whole thing. Let's begin. So we finished off with the 3 double crochet that are here. You're going to chain 1, and right into this right here, the space completely, you're going to put in 3 half double crochet. So it's a slightly shorter stitch, which will give a better look in the end. You're then going to chain 1, and then into the top of this chain work right here, so don't go into a space, right into the top, you are going to apply the following: 3 half double crochet first, followed by a chain 3 to do the turn, and then in the same corner do 3 double crochet. So the corner is unequal as far as the heights, which is what we're looking for. You were then going to chain 1 and start like you normally would. So go right to your next space. You were going to put your 3 double crochet, you do chain 1s after them, you do your corners with what you already know, and this officially then gives you a final edge in order for the rest of this thing to follow. Please go all the way around until you get back to this spot right here. On the final corner right here, just pull up a large loop, and then you're going to go back to the other color. So make sure your balls are not twisted coming to the project. So in the last round, what we did is that we got this thing established. So this round here is just a matter of just following what you already can see. So you just chain up one, go to your next space, put in your 3 double crochet. So it's only the last time that we did this is that there was something special. Then chain one, go to your next space, chain one, go to your corner. So 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. So I want you to go around with this and end on this corner here. And I'm going to bring my blue in around as well. And I will see you there in a few moments to show you how to finish one of these when you're happy with the size or when you run out of yarn. I'll be right back. When you're ready for the final of this and you're tired of the pattern and you just want to finish, what you can do is, and I used as much as the yarn as that I could so I could finish. So what I'm going to do is that to finish, I'm going to just pull out the last layer, and I want to get it in line with this. I didn't apply a border on the final. So I'm going to pull it to the final 3 here, and then I'm going to pull the next color till I get to the final 3 here. And then I'm going to pull this one. And when I pull this one, I only want to pull so that there's 2 double crochets left. Just like there. I found that if I just do one, that it creates an indentation, and I'm going to trim my yarn at this point and just pull it through. Okay. Now this one here, I'm going to skip from doing a space. So I'm not going to chain one after this, and I'm just going to double crochet in the top of this one. And that will keep it nice and tight like that. Therefore, I'm done that color, and I'm just going to use a tapestry needle later to hide that in. Okay. And then my very final one right here, I want to chain one, and in the very last one here, I only want to apply 2 double crochet. So it's very similar to this one right here. And that's where I'm going to end. So if you want to apply a single crochet border, the only part that you have to second guess yourself if you're going to do that is that you got to make sure that the space distance here is equaling along this small section right here. So just look at the spaces of the tops like you see, and just equally space your single crochets into this section. And in your corners, what I would do is 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet. On this one right here, use the top of the final double crochet as your corner. So 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet right into here. So it's only along this small little section is that you just have to equally space your stitches, and then the rest of it all the way around will literally be spaced perfectly. This is how you do this particular example. Let me know how you do in the comments below. Bye-bye.